AEFL, American Elite Fantasy League.
My name's Trevor Freimeyer. Team name, Marshall Matters.
Justin Yates, team captain, Green Eggs and Cane.
Brandon Ultimus, the Paul Baker Dream Team.
Ethan Barr, team captain, former Child Stars.
Captain Tanner Guthrie, team Old Smuggler.
Tyler Boner, and I am the Raging Boners.
My name is
Ben Parker.
and I'm putting together a special team, and I need me 8 soldiers. 8 Jewish American soldiers. Once we're in enemy territory, as a bushwhacking guerrilla army, we're going to be doing one thing and one thing only.
Win football games.
The Sankey Legs, Adam Edwards.
Will Wetzel, helmet to helmet contact.
Jared Fichter, LFPB.
Chase Kraft, my Cobb, and your Bush, and your host, and our weekly review starts now. Alright fellas, welcome to Season 3, Week 7 of the AEFL, and as always, and as I start off every single episode of this season, we had another great week. But looking into the games here now, it looks like I got the, I did. I got the big loss there against Tanner, 124.4 to 117.4. Green Eggs and Cam picks up his second win of the year, amazingly enough, defeating Paul Baker's Dream Team there, 99.6 to 72.8. The Sankey Legs falls in a close one there to helmet-to-helmet contact, 91.8 to 89 points. Marshall Matters picks up his big, third win of the year. Yeah, he's 3-4 now. Surprise, surprise. Beating Liquor in the front, Poker in the back, who actually, Jared, first loss of the season, man. Sorry to see that. And it was ugly. It was real ugly. 103.4 to 88.7. Grand Slam Breakfast Squad picks up another close game there to Inglorious Bastards, 121 to 119.1. And then Raging Boners, their fifth win of the year there, 138.2 to 115.8. And that was over former Child Stars, who, Bar, you are struggling this year, just struggling. And I love it, and it's hilarious. And I'm just thoroughly enjoying it. Getting to the games a little bit more, going into my game versus Tanner. Fuck you, Shane Vereen, that's all I gotta say. Fuck you and your stupid 2-ass touchdowns in the first half. All receiving, of course, you motherfucker. But anyways, and then you gotta go into Russell Wilson's big second half there against St. Louis. I was definitely thinking I was in a good position looking at the first half and all his points, but he just exploded there in the second half. Not to mention, Lacey had 16 points, and thank God Jimmy Graham didn't play, or the score would have been a lot worse, as he put up a big 0, as Oliver had a down week for me, Tate was down, and then Julius Thomas didn't give me the points I was expecting with that trade. As actually, if you count this week, I kind of lost out on this trade, which was a little disappointing, but what can he do? Then getting into Yates and Brandon. Brandon, you had Dalton there struggling in Indy, of all places, typically known for bad defense. But hey, my Colts are turning things around on the defensive end, as they didn't allow Cincinnati on across the 50 till the fourth quarter. And then you have Morris and Gore with really low games there, as Gore doesn't do anything against Denver. And I was surprised to see your San Francisco defense in there against a high-potent Denver offense that you know that they want to get Peyton Manning his touchdowns to break the record at home. While Yates, on the other hand, Odell Beckham looks like to be a great pickup, 2 touchdowns. Really going to fill in nicely there for Victor Cruz. And then, what do you know, O'Donnell showed up there at tight end, but on your bench. But hey, it's okay when you have Reed at in your tight end spot, getting you some decent points as well. And then Cam Newton's looking a lot better now that the year's progressed a little bit, coming off that rib injury. Might have been slowing him up there. Then looking into Adam and Will's game. Adam, you had Giovanni Bernard, but I think he was more or less known this week for his big hit he got from Vontae Davis. I mean, oh, that was a great fucking hit. Loved it. I might actually have to put that in as the hard hit of the week. I think I might just actually go edit the clip right now, just so I can do that, just so we can all just, bask in the glory of that hard hit. And then it kind of seems like you have wide receiver roulette there. Like, are you going to start Jeffries? Are you going to start Hopkins or Keenan Allen? It's like you don't know which one to start each week, because each guy goes from week to week to week, and it's like, man, who do I pick? And this week, I think you went with Jeffries and Allen, while Hopkins actually scored the bigger points on the bench for you. And then you have Cameron there in Cleveland at tight end spot. He gives you one good week and you get excited like he's going back to his old form, and then he has a week like this where the whole Cleveland offense sucks. Trust me, I know, because Tate fucked me over as well, but what can you do? But I tell you what, at least you have Matt Forte, because he is the freaking man this year. I mean, rushing, receiving, he does it all for you. Lucky for you. And then, Will, on your end, you have Hillman and Foster putting up big points. And interesting to see that you had Cecil Shorts, though. I think you had him starting. I wonder if he's going to be the man in Jacksonville anymore, because I have Allen Robinson. He seems to be connecting a little bit better with Blake Borders than what Shorts is. But still, I mean, he's still a threat. Got to take him serious here. And then going into Trevor and Jared's game. Hey, Jared, why don't you listen to the videos, or at least maybe watch them? Because for the past 2 weeks, I've been telling you to start Golden Tate with Calvin Johnson out. And what has he done all week? I mean, I almost have to question, are you even checking the roster? Are you checking the roster whatsoever? Because you would see the points he's been putting up the last few weeks, and you still continue to have him on the bench. It's pissing me off. But that's why you're 6-1 now instead of 7-0. You should have started him, should have listened, should have watched the tapes and checked your team. And going into Trevor, Peyton, and Charles had big games. And then, man, when are you going to start sitting Vernon Davis? He has one good season, you suck his dick all up and down the field. Sit him on the bench and put in Bolden. Well, Bolden's the go-to guy there in San Francisco. When Kaepernick needs to get a first down or complete a pass, he goes to Bolden. Now looking at Dustin Ben's game, Dustin, we make a great trade. It works out well for you. You get the win. Bradshaw and Hilton works out perfect for you and fucks me over. So, good for you on that. But then at the same time, you lose 2 running backs in Fred Jackson and C.J. Spillard. I think Jackson, you had just... did you just trade for him? I can't quite remember, but dude, that sucks. You lose... your roster set there. Bradshaw and Hilton, Spiller as your backup. Fred Jackson is great in PPR, and you lose both of them within like a quarter, man. I'm sorry to hear that. That sucks. Now you're scrambling for another running back. But what can you do? At least you had Thomas and Johnson there getting you plenty of points, though, so you'll be all right there in the wide receiver spot. Looking at Ben's team, you definitely have 2 of the best running backs in the entire league right now, in Le'Veon Bell and DeMarco Murray. That is definitely a spot you're not thin at. And then wide receiver-wise, it's kind of like where Adam's at. Like, who do I start at receiver? The points change from week to week to week of who's going to score the most between Torrey Smith, who I still don't like that much because he just doesn't get the receptions that I'd like, and the touchdowns are kind of hit and miss. But when he scores touchdowns, he scores 2 at a time. I think that's twice now this year that's happened. And then you also have Jeremy Maclin, Deshaun Jackson, and Welker. And so it's kind of like, pick your poison of who's going to score the most points this week, and then cut yourself out come Sunday once you see you started the wrong person. So have fun with that, you and Edwards both. And then looking into Tyler and Barr's game. Tyler, man, what a team, 5-2. Watkins was a hell of a pickup, a hell of a play. And then you had Olsen, I've said it before, he's having a career year. And then Ivory gets you 22 points. And I just got to say, the last few weeks, flex spots you have been playing where, 1 week I think you set Watkins and played Bell when he came back from that concussion. You played Bell in the flex instead of Watkins, and it turned out great. Bell got you 17 points. This week, Bell's in your lineup, Watkins is in your lineup, and then you play Ivory in the flex and gets you 22. Just great team managing going on right there last few weeks. Very impressive. But, fellas, that's the games for this week, and now we'll get into this week's hard hit of the week.
Right now, I guarantee you he's feeling a ribbon.
And this week's hard hit of the week is an obvious one. You got to give it to Ish in the fact that he makes some key trades. He gets his roster in place and in order to make that playoff run here the last few weeks. And it just all literally just goes to hell in a matter of a quarter. And you almost got to laugh at the fact that you do all these trades, you set yourself up very nicely, and in a matter of one game, it just crumbles right in front of you. And now you're scrambling to replace the rest of your running back. So, Ish, for this week, man, you're definitely this week's hard hit of the week. And now let's get into next week's matchups. All right, fellas, looking into the Week 8 matchups, it looks like I will be taking on Marshall Matters there, with myself getting the projected win 144 to 111 as I look to set Trevor back to his losing ways. And then you got the 2-5 teams, Green Eggs and Cam with Inglorious Bastards there, with BP getting the projected win 149 to 138. Then you got Helmet to Helmet Contact taking on the 6-1 Liquor in the front, Poker in the back, with Feater there getting the projected win 142 to 109. Then the 3-4 Former Child Stars takes on the 4-3 Paul Baker's Dream Team, with Bar there getting the projected win 136 to 100. Then the 3-4 Grand Slam Breakfast Squad taking on the 5-2 Raging Boners, with Boner there getting projected win 140 to 114. Then the 2-5 Sankey Lakes takes on the 4-3 Old Smuggler, with Smuggler there getting the projected win 142 to 127. And fellas, that is your Week 8 matchups. All right, fellas, so like I said, that was this week's matchup, so it'll be an interesting week. Again, as always, that kind of seems to be my go-to phrase because I don't know what else to say. But, hey, at least I look to get the victory there over Trevor's piss-poor team, so I'll be getting back on the winning track. So, fellas, as always, I'll talk to you later. Fuck you.
Alley Cat Production.